welcome in. This is not another sports show.
This is the sports show.
And I am Brian DiNatale.
And I'm Cujo.
And it's week 4, college football, baby.
Way better than week 3.
Hey, we got to get it right. People got really sick last week. We didn't want a repeat.
Yeah, betting buffet was a lot better in week 3 than it was in week 2.
Yeah?
Couldn't have been much worse, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that was a rough week.
Yeah, I think we're slowly starting to learn a little more about these teams. I mean, it still seems like a feeling out process early in the year. I mean, we only got 3 games, 4 for some teams, but some teams still only have 2 games in the book, so offenses are still trying to find their way. Defenses are trying to calm down in their system. So,
I mean, look, we're riding the ship. Things are getting a little bit better. Something that really wasn't that good was we just came from a trivia night, guys.
Oh,
Me and Cujo.
Gosh. Big Seinfeld people. In case you don't know,
we've seen the show about 16 times through.
Yeah.
A piece, and we thought we're going for championships here. We wanted the dub, and
we had it. We had it in our grasp, and
we screwed up.
We blew it.
We a couple of false starts.
Yeah,
the turnovers. You can't have it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was one of those timed trivia games, and we were really priding ourselves on answering questions fast, and a couple of finger slips is all it took.
Yeah,
second place.
Second out of 16. If you want the positive is, we were a 2-man team, and all these other tables had 6, 7, 8 people. This was just us.
We're about 4 years old when the show stopped, and everybody else was like average age, probably like 60. So
yeah, we were ahead of the curve.
But it's not acceptable. It's not. It's not. We pride ourselves. We're championship or bust. Like there's no second. If you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. I mean, we have high expectations.
So,
like we do here for betting. We have those same expectations in everything we do.
If you guys ever want to do a Seinfeld trivia night, we'll host it.
Yeah, we'll down.
We'll host it on the show even.
Get a subscriber.
Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. Do you want a Seinfeld trivia episode? I mean,
oh man, that'd be a great episode. Just a full Seinfeld episode here on Not Another Sports Show.
I mean, I'm all for it.
I am too. I mean, we know that just as well as anything else.
I mean, we're going to be traveling. That might be. I'm off. I'm finally back. By the way, for the entirety
US bound?
For the entirety of this show, I actually, believe it or not, left 4 of my work trips on August 11th. It's currently we're in late September at this point.
Oh yeah,
and we've filmed this entire show so far in the few days that I've been home in this stretch.
Yeah,
I've been home for like 2 day stretches. Built this entire set.
We've had to film at 2:30, 3 a.m.
I've been editing all of these episodes on planes.
Yeah.
So it's been a grind, but we do it for the fans.
We do it for you guys.
And but I'm back, so I will actually get to enjoy football on my couch with multiple TVs going on.
Try to enjoy it, but some of these teams are hard to enjoy.
It's a little hard to do.
It starts with your team really, and which is really
a
dark spot on the betting buffet. This LSU.
It wasn't great.
We had LSU -7. Obviously, they were at South Carolina, only won by 3. Honestly, probably should have lost that game.
Look. I said it going in. I said I was not feeling that. I was like, hey, I love the pick, but I just don't trust betting any sort of LSU. And I felt the same way last year.
Yeah, and it's kind of starting that way this year. Not a lot to like. Turnovers, bad offensive execution. They were lucky they got out of South Carolina with a win. Yeah. They didn't deserve it.
No.
At all.
And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like they did win, but it's not going to be. They're not a playoff bound team.
No, I mean
you got
to win these games convincingly if they're going to try to tell the committee like, hey, we should be one of those 12 teams that get in. I mean, I don't see it. There's nothing really that appealing to LSU. You're talking about there's the name brand stuff, but that was a bad read. The other, not really bad read. I'm not going to say this is a bad read. It was Coastal Carolina Temple. We said over 51.5. That game was at 48. We had a 28-20. This was a weird game. Coastal Carolina struggled against Temple. Temple's not a great team. Coastal Carolina's offense really took a step back this week. They struggled to move the ball, sustain drives, everything. So, we were at 48. We just needed another score. There was plenty of time in that game to get it in the fourth quarter and just didn't come to fruition. So, that's unfortunate. But we were 3-2 overall. You know which one did hit?
What's that?
After I
know
bashed
which one.
the shit out of them initially.
Yeah. Look,
Notre Dame.
they were looking to they're just looking to get right after they proved it.
There was a lot of disrespect. We were disrespectful.
There was.
Some was well deserved,
Yeah.
but the line, we gave it at -11. By the time the show got out, it was down to -7.5 at Purdue. I don't know what we had seen from Purdue that was let's justify this. Notre Dame beat the brakes off of them.
We angered. They were
absolutely Riley Leonard put his head down, put his feet in the ground, and just ran their ass over all day. It was so bad for Purdue. Notre Dame was trying to run the clock out in the end of the half from the 20, 80 yards to the house.
Yeah,
they were trying just to get into the locker room. So that was a great read. The other one was App State, East Carolina. By the time this dropped, this line was actually App State -0.5.
So if you got in on that one when the show dropped, you won.
Oh, easily. So we had App State at 2.5.
Right.
But by the time we got done, yeah.
So unfortunately, you lost.
I did.
Is what
but
I'm hearing.
You guys won. App State looked good. They struggled a little bit out of the gate of that game, but East Carolina got a lot of juice, and people thought East Carolina were going to win that game. This looks great for our futures too, for App State coming out of the conference. So solid win. The sexy dessert pick, that high calorie one, the BYU Wyoming, that we were over 39.5. I was like, this isn't sexy. This is that nice low carb diet. Yeah. 34-14. We covered that easily. By basically the third quarter, this was over. Wyoming is not a good team. Wyoming is a bad team.
They're not great. No.
They're a bad team. So
not since Josh Allen left.
That was an easy read. The 39, like we said, in college, that's just so low.
Yeah.
That's Iowa numbers. Even Iowa's covering over that
these
right
days,
now.
Cade McNamara is thrown for,
Yeah. All of a sudden,
by the way,
Iowa's an over team.
Bro, he's a Heisman candidate. I saw him on the odds now.
Isn't everyone a candidate?
He might be the last one on the list. My bookie has him at plus 34,000.
That's pretty good money.
He's not the last person on the list, but he's second to last.
Damn close.
So if you want that money now,
go get it.
Go get it. 34,000 maybe.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
But betting buffet, a lot better.
Hey,
no food poisoning.
positive.
We're positive. We're one game under on the season. Through 15 games,
That's
7-8, especially early on in the year, I think is respectable.
Yeah.
It's not where we want to be, but it's a step in the right direction. A lot of our futures, if you followed us from the pilot, are all setting up pretty well. That starts with Jackson Dart. We had Jackson Dart at plus 1,400 for Heisman. He is now plus 700.
Now, unfortunately, that was what you had.
Yeah.
My guys are pretty much out. Ewers was my pick.
Ewers was great. It was a great pick.
It is the Arch Manning show.
Man. We think they're going to go the promised land here?
We've talked about it. It's Georgia and Texas and everybody. We might have just changed stances. Georgia might not be it after that Kentucky game.
No, that was
granted. It was at
game.
Kentucky. We did talk that it was going to be closer than we thought, but we still said, "Hey, Georgia."
We knew,
no question.
We talked about the way that Kentucky could win this game or stay in. It was they run that slow tempo offense, milking the clock. That's exactly what they did. They had 35 minutes of possession. They controlled the clock. Georgia only 262 total yards of offense, 3 yards per carry. Georgia really was hit shooting themselves in the foot too. 9 penalties, 85 yards. Georgia's lucky to escape that game with a win. They really didn't deserve to win that game. Kentucky put up a hell of a fight, and that was definitely an easy under game.
But guys, it is the Arch Manning show now. Ewers is out, and it is going to be hard for me to see them going back to him, even when he gets healthy, even though he's still technically the guy.
You're just kicking him to the side after all he's done. He went into the big house.
Here's what I got to say, guys. Here's what I'm going to say. If you followed my bet, which I doubt anybody did, on Quinn Ewers being Heisman, he's out. It's Arch Manning now. Now, is he going to win it? We looked up the stats. There's been 5 people in the history of Heisman winning that have missed
football first started.
That have missed games and still won the Heisman, and it's only 1 or 2 games now. He's coming in week 3. There might be a few more games now.
We don't know how long Ewers is out yet. It might be only a couple weeks. They think it's not as bad, but
Look, what was his top speed?
Well, Arch Manning's top speed was 20.7, I believe.
Yeah.
The Cheetah, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
His top speed so far this year is 20.3.
I mean, he came in, I don't know what his passer rating was, but it had to have been
I mean, Arch is
damn
look
near.
great.
Yeah.
Texas looks electric with Arch in there. I don't disagree. I think he's the better option to make them kind of a more explosive offense.
I
Now
mean,
it's going to come down to the veteran.
he might be
mistakes.
the most, outside of like Cam Ward, he might be the most exciting player in college football right now.
You think?
Well, not even. Yeah.
I mean, he has the name too, so that always helps. But I mean, there's some really good quarterbacks this year.
There are.
You got Dart. You got obviously Manning.
So my actual probably legit pick, just because I want to be all in on Arch. Don't get me wrong. Like, it would be amazing. And if you get it right now, he's at 24. He's at 2,400.
It's not bad.
Which is not bad.
24-1 odds. That's pretty good
The chance
value.
of him winning, like we said, maybe next year.
Historically, it's been tough.
Right. Historically, it's not. This would be like basically an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a phenomenon if he wins. But the guy that I think I want now,
Who's that?
I think I want the Lamaleva.
Oh,
That's my new pick, guys. And look, we're getting it better money than I had at Ewers. He's currently, what is he at on? He's at 1,400. That's
bad.
pretty good money.
I mean, that's where we took Jackson Dart at the beginning of the season. 14-1's not bad.
So that can move really quick. We're already at 700 for Dart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
things are looking good.
especially for Tennessee, if they win this big game this week that we'll get to later, it'll look good for his candidacy.
So mark me down, Lamaleva. I'm putting down 50. I had 25-25 on Ewers and Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon's, hey, he could still work out, but it's not looking promising.
Not great.
We'll try to even it out and win bigger
Yeah,
with
I like
this
it.
pick.
I like it. You know, a couple of the other big games from the week. Alabama, Wisconsin went exactly as we said. We said that game could get out of hand, and it did. Obviously, Van Dyke going down for Wisconsin, done for the year. That's a huge blow. You know, the backup coming in for Wisconsin, they moved the ball a little bit. He didn't look terrible. But Alabama seems to be finding their stride. Milroe had another solid game on the road. Like I said, that just felt like a game that there wasn't going to be enough juice in Wisconsin to win. They played more like Swiss cheese defense.
Ooh, yeah, I see what you did there.
Not a sharp cheddar, more of a Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
The other game, big game, Mizzou, Boston
Here we
College.
go, baby. Now, look, the problem is that apparently it was too close of a game.
Yeah,
Because they dropped in the
27-21. Mizzou kind of had that game in hand, though, for a while. So I'm shocked they dropped Mizzou really from 6 to 7. But, you know, Mizzou had some dumb penalties, which kind of kept BC around. Luther Burden, another huge game, 117 and a touchdown. I think there's no doubt in my mind he's the best receiver in college football.
Oh, agreed.
Argument, he could be a top 10 pick in this upcoming draft.
Yeah. Now, he showed it this game, too. Like, it's no question.
He's such a good route runner. He gets separation. He's very sure-handed. You know, the Mizzou did a lot of good things.
Yeah.
So I liked what I saw from Mizzou.
Agreed.
They forced Castellanos to turn the ball over a couple times. Defense looked pretty solid overall. I mean, there were a couple two like long plays that were busted coverage, that kind of those backyard plays that you draw up that just kind of leak out. But overall, I mean, it's a solid win for Mizzou.
I mean,
move on.
Wasn't enough. 6 points
Wasn't
was not enough
for the committee. I thought
Not
it was
enough.
a quality win. So
Yeah, I mean, Boston College was ranked.
yeah, I mean they're
not
24,
anymore,
but
but
not anymore. But they played well.
Yeah.
Oregon looked good.
Yeah.
Oregon got
might
back.
be back.
Yeah, so Oregon
Took them a little bit, but,
they had to figure out their offensive line. Oregon ended up shifting kind of their mentality on their offensive line and their scheme, and you kind of saw it transform the offense this week and really get going against Oregon State on the road. Yes, I know it's still within Oregon, but going into Corvallis is not easy, especially for the Civil War rivalry. Gabriel, 291, 2 touchdowns, had a 64-yard rushing and a touchdown there too.
I think we both thought this game was going to be closer than it
Yeah,
ended up being.
Tej Johnson had another 100-yard game at receiver. lot of good things to look at for Oregon. This might be that get right spot now where I think they found something. The offensive line wasn't allowing the pressures that it had before, letting those big plays develop and kind of getting that electric offense we're used to seeing back on track. So that was a great game. Utah State.
Yeah,
no Cam Rising for Utah.
Yep.
So they had to go with the backup, and then they really leaned kind of on Micah Bernard, the running back. He had 123 in a tud. 38-21, Utah took care of business. That's what you want to see without your 15-year senior Cam Rising, who plays about half the games anyway.
Yeah.
So that was week 3. Anything else you got?
I think my final thoughts really just, I mean, we may have touched on it slightly at the beginning of the Oklahoma-Tulane game. I mean, it 34-19. Honestly, Tulane put up closer. The game seemed closer.
It was. I think until the end, it was like there's a little breakaway at the end, but Oklahoma's been hard to gauge. They have not looked impressive at all.
They finished strong, and they're at 15 now. I mean, so they're just on watch right now.
Yeah, but I mean,
in my book,
that leads into week 4 though.
Yeah,
because they'll be hosting one of the hottest offenses in college football, and that's number 6 Tennessee going into Oklahoma.
That was the other game I was gonna talk about because they smacked Kent State 71-0, and Lavaleva looked great. The offense looked great, electric, everything. I mean,
they put up 65 in the first half.
First half.
So it was a great game for Tennessee. Kent State is bad, though. Kent State is terrible.
Yeah.
They might be the worst team in college football.
Yeah.
So that's a big game. You want to do betting buffet or you want to keep going these top matchups?
Let's just ride on some top matchups. They got a lot of good games this week.
I like it. All right. So one of the other ones, this is a little Big Ten.
Yeah.
Number 22, Illinois, goes to number 24, QB.
Oh,
Patrick Mahomes and Nebraska?
What? Oh, actually, no. It's
this
Dylan
this cosplay is getting out of hand.
It's out of hand.
But Nebraska's looked really good. They've been very impressive. I like what I'm seeing out of Nebraska.
Also, Friday Night Lights.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
who doesn't want to see
that?
Yeah, I mean, in Lincoln, I think it's going to be big.
Yeah.
Big game for Nebraska. I don't know if I'm really sold on Illinois, to be honest with you.
I'm not either.
I know they're number 24. They're 3-0. They've had some decent wins, but they're not very impressive.
No.
Like, I don't know if they have the firepower to stick with number 22 Nebraska.
Right.
I mean, Rayola's 670, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's played very well.
Yeah.
Nebraska's been able to run the ball pretty efficiently. I just don't know if there's a lot that I like with Illinois.
So here's the question. Right now, the Cornhuskers are 7.5-point favorites.
I think I'm staying away from betting this game right now. If that number got to like 6.5, I think I'd like it. 7, I just don't see a lot of value. If it's at 7.5, I would maybe lean more Illinois. I'd take the points.
Yeah.
I think Nebraska wins was probably by a touchdown.
Yeah.
So like Illinois, obviously, Altmaier's been great for QB for Illinois. He's throwing for 650 yards. He's got 6 touchdowns. Hasn't turned it over. But I didn't like what I saw of them playing Central Michigan.
Yeah.
The Chippewas, like, they were fine. They won 30-9, but it's not really that impressive of a win. Now, I know Nebraska just played UNI and won 34-3. That's not huge, but I just lean Nebraska being at home. I think Matt Rule's got this team rolling.
I think Nebraska can finish top 15 this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Rayola, I think they're ahead of schedule. I think they were going to be getting to this point. I think they're a little bit earlier than expected.
I can see them fighting for that playoff spot.
Yeah.
And they could end up not even needing to fight for it. They could just be in there in the conversation.
Be a dark horse to try to come out of the Big Ten.
But yeah, exactly. But I think they're going to be
honestly not that terrible.
No, I think they could be fighting for that final spot.
I mean, they have at Purdue after this Illinois game. We just
got
saw
destroyed.
what Notre Dame did.
That's not going to be good.
Versus Rutgers. I'm not sold on Rutgers. No. At Indiana's tough.
Yeah.
Indiana's a really good team. Well coached.
Yep.
At Ohio State's going to be a loss. At UCLA, they should stomp. UCLA is not very good. At USC is challenging. Versus Wisconsin now, they get it in Lincoln. I don't think that's a hard game now with Van Dyke out. And then you go at Iowa at that point in the year. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, Nebraska's got a pretty solid chance here to make a run or at least be right on the cusp of getting in.
They're going to need to win games like this convincingly.
Yeah, for sure.
Like cover that 7.5.
Yeah. Yeah, take care of business at home. Kind of set that benchmark.
Yeah.
Another Big Ten matchup, though, this week.
Yeah.
There's a couple of big ones.
There are, yeah.
USC goes to Michigan.
Ooh,
what are
your
our
favorite
thoughts?
team this year? This one, for me, just the fact that it's at Michigan, I do think I like Michigan to win this one. I know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You like Michigan to win this
I do.
game?
The way that things have been going this season, I think it's time for things to turn around.
I mean, Michigan did make the QB change finally.
Yeah.
Warren's not going to be the starter. It's going to be Orgy.
Everybody loves an orgy in the end zone.
Everyone likes an Orgy in the end zone.
RG3.
A lot better than Warren was. I mean, Warren,
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He was a big reason Michigan has kind of struggled out of the gate. I don't know. I like USC.
You taking USC here?
Yeah, I mean, they're minus 5.5. It opened at 6.5. I think it's still, I don't know if there's a lot of betting
closing.
value there.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of in a dead zone. Like, do I think they're going to win by a touchdown? Not necessarily, but I don't think they're going to lose. I haven't seen anything from Michigan that points me to like, oh, yeah. I mean, Michigan just barely beat Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Like, how is that impressive?
It's not, but I don't know. I have this feeling that it's going to be one of those games where they have to prove it. It's like,
I feel like this is a USC game too, to like prove who they are. Because I mean, like now you look.
I think I have a little bit of USC pessimism, just in general history.
You just don't like Lincoln Riley.
No,
Why is that?
you had a generational talent in
He got
Caleb
him a
Williams.
Heisman. He got a Heisman out of it.
How was their record? Did they win games?
Oh, they had
Did
trash
they
around
win
him.
games?
They had trash around
So
him.
what do they have now?
Moss,
Okay,
an electric quarterback.
I don't.
Their defense is drastically improved.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like I think 11 to me. I think I'm just more of like a pessimistic USC guy, and I just think as much as we've hated on Michigan this year, I just feel
Which is
rightfully so.
Yeah.
I think for this game, maybe I'm wrong, and like you said, the money but it's closing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's some money coming in on Michigan. Maybe the line's a little bit out of whack. Maybe it's a little too big.
by the time this show airs, I mean, I don't know.
I still think though, like I'm taking if I'm having to pick, like straight up, I think USC wins. Do they cover? I'm not touching.
Not
the betting
touching that,
line, no. But you're thinking Michigan just wins
Michigan
straight
wins
up.
straight up.
Well, we can do Big 12.
Okay.
We've had a lot of Big 10.
Right.
We had one SEC.
Really get into the Big Ten. You know,
Big 12 game though. Utah at Oklahoma
that's
State.
gonna be a great game.
12 versus 14. Cam Rising is supposed to play, which is
Yeah.
obviously a huge boost for Utah. This is going to be can Oklahoma State's offense move it against Utah's defense?
Yeah.
I think that's the bigger story than the other sides of the ball. I think it's about the strengths, which one's going to come out ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love this matchup. I think it is actually going to be very close. Cam Rising is one of my favorite players to watch in college football.
Well, because
So hopefully
he's been playing there since we've grown up.
Right. I think he's older than us actually, but
Right.
yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this game. One of the top ones for the week. I do think Oklahoma State takes this one.
Oh, wow.
I'm picking all the underdogs this week.
I mean, Oklahoma State now is a 2.5-point favorite. Being at home obviously helps. You think Ollie Gordon's going to be able to get it going?
I hope so. I need that,
Ollie Gordon hasn't been that efficient this year.
One of these Heisman's got, if I just pick everybody to win Heisman, one of them's got to hit.
I mean, Ollie Gordon's rushing average is
it's not good.
great.
It's not good,
62
guys.
for
He has not
216. That is.
He has not been looking very. Now, how much is that him, and how much is that like the line in the offense?
I don't think the line's great. I mean, Bowman for them has been really good at quarterback. I mean, he's thrown for almost 1,000 already. He's got 8
My
tuds.
concern is that it's not even all of that. It's more that people have figured out how to stop the run game for them, and it's
they're
not
kind of
giving him
forcing
momentum.
Yeah, he's not getting he's getting hit in the backfield. He's not even able to get to the edge or anything.
Yeah, that's more my concern than anything. But I'm going to Oklahoma State. I actually like watching Oklahoma State. They always just have a fun offense to watch.
I like their jerseys. They got quality
they got
jerseys.
Great jerseys. One of the best jerseys in the NFL. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some elite alumni.
Yeah.
I got Utah.
Oh, okay.
I got Utah.
Well, this is going to be an interesting week. We got some like discrepancies in picks. You know,
yeah,
this is what
for my futures, obviously I need Utah to win this game.
Sure.
It goes a long way in their over win total. This is one of their more challenging games. But really for Utah, this is kind of that this will hopefully solidify them possibly win the Big 12.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Oklahoma State this week, Arizona State, Houston, BYU, Colorado, Iowa State, UCF.
Yeah.
It's not a particularly tough schedule down the stretch.
No.
Really, you get over this hump, which is on the road. They could be kind of cruising undefeated in Big 12 play.
Yeah. Back to Cam Rising. To me, he just kind of looks like he's like, I don't even know if it's like his style play or just the way he looks. Like he doesn't look like a football player. He looks like he's like Johnny Depp's like little brother or something.
Looks like Paxton Lynch.
A little bit.
He's got the facial hair of Paxton Lynch. I don't know if that's a good omen or not.
Just something about him. Just he just seems like Johnny Depp's little brother. Like he's an actor. Like he's a paid actor.
Yeah. I mean, he's played this role for 13 years at Utah.
Yeah.
So they love him there.
He's a redshirt senior. His major,
how many times has he redshirted?
His major is psychology and criminology. So he might just become a cop or something after he's done.
I can see that.
He is 25, by the way. He is 25.
There's some aviators on him. Hey, he can get insurance on his own.
Yeah.
Rent a car on his own. That's great.
Yeah.
Sure, there's some NIL money there from rent a car or something for him.
Something, yeah.
He can do it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's maybe 2 or 3 other people in college who could actually rent the car by themselves without the extra insurance.
Right. So we touched on this at the beginning of this segment, the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. Who do you got?
Winning straight up or covering spread?
Because
those are two different options.
First off, just winning. Because this is to me this is the biggest game of the week, I think.
Winning, I think it's Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's particularly close. As far as I think Oklahoma will play better.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking spread, currently sits at -7 for Tennessee. That's a little bit of an overreaction, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's putting maybe too much stock into Tennessee not playing great teams.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they played
I'm all in on Tennessee, and I know they haven't played anybody, but 71-0 on Kent State. And the thing is, yes, they're at Oklahoma, and I hate Oklahoma. I honestly really do. But you can't discredit them at home either. They're always that team that just disrupts. And man, I don't know. I'm all in on Tennessee at this point too. I think they can take it pretty far this season, but at the same time, it is Oklahoma at home. I don't think they cover. Maybe they don't cover, but I do take Tennessee here. Oklahoma is not that good.
Man, I mean, yeah, Oklahoma hasn't played well yet. They haven't. They won versus Tulane, only 34-19. We saw them struggling against Houston in a game arguably they should have lost. And then, I mean, they beat the brakes off Temple, but everybody beats the brakes off Temple. Thing is, I don't know what Tennessee really is against. I mean, now, don't get me wrong. Week. They beat the shit out of North Carolina State.
Yeah.
But now we're starting to see North Carolina State's not that good.
Right.
So how much stock do you put in that win now?
Right.
OU has started to get it going, though, with Arnold running the ball. So they're starting to get a little more balance. He's not just throwing back there. He is running with his legs.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to figure out their offense, but I think Oklahoma covers. I think 7 is too much. I think it's more like 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee wins by a field goal. But
that's fair.
7's just too much. 7.5, I would hammer Oklahoma. That hook.
Here's my thing is if I'm betting it, I just say Oklahoma covers. Tennessee wins, Oklahoma covers.
I think that's kind of what we're looking
But would I be surprised if Tennessee just beat the shit out of them like by 17 or something?
Would you be surprised if Oklahoma beat Tennessee here, just straight up?
I can't. No, I wouldn't be because, like I said, they're just that disrupting team. Like they're not that good, and then somehow like you're gonna come out and like they'll win by, score or something. Maybe who knows? But I don't see it happening. I'm going Tennessee here.
Yeah, I just have that weird feeling, that like gut feeling that this is gonna be an Oklahoma game. This is that get right game.
Yeah.
This is the welcome to the SEC game.
Okay,
That's
all
like,
right.
hey,
I like it.
hey, we deserve to be in this
I
conference.
mean, I don't like it, but like I get it. Another close game. Who you got here in the Clemson North Carolina State game?
Yeah, so
So the line is 20, but
yeah, honestly,
But,
that might be high.
that's what I'm
Or
saying.
no, that might be low.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
that might be
yeah,
low. This
yeah.
maybe should be around 4 touchdowns now.
Yeah.
Grayson McCall is going to be out. So you're going to have North Carolina State starting a true freshman, I believe, behind there. Going into Clemson, who obviously is coming off a huge win against App State, and they had a bye. So they've had time to, scheme up for this game versus NC State.
Dabo's feisty.
And NC State's shown they have some weakness. Obviously,
Weakness. They have some weakness?
they got a lot of
They
weakness.
got a lot of weakness.
To be honestly, it started in week 1, and that was
Yeah.
with Grayson McCall. So
Yeah.
this game would not surprise me if this is like a 28-point blowout.
Yeah.
I don't see Clemson taking the gas off the pedal either.
No.
They're kind of needing to make a statement too. They're wanting to be a playoff team. They gotta keep convincing. Because they got crushed by Georgia. So one of your tougher opponents beat the shit out of you.
Yep.
You got to start, putting your mark on all the other games.
Yeah. Another game that I like is the Kansas Jayhawks, West Virginia game.
Rock Chalk.
I do. It's funny because the line here is currently 2.5 Mountaineers.
Yeah, I kind of like the Mountaineers.
Yeah.
There. Kansas has not been very impressive. And I thought they would be, they were so good last year offensively, and they're just not.
It was an electric offense last year.
And they're just struggling to move the ball, to score that well. Like, I'm really disappointed so far in what I've seen out of Kansas. I thought they would be drastically better, to be honest with you. But, I mean, I think I would take West Virginia here.
Yeah. I'm also taking West Virginia there, but it's it's not really tough to see as a Mizzou fan,
Yeah.
But
we don't want them to win.
no.
Anyway.
And I guess we should talk about your Jackets.
This is a tough game.
Louisville, baby. They're
At Louisville.
Louisville's good.
Louisville's a very good team.
How do you think the Haynes are going to do?
I mean, Haynes Kings looked really good. I mean, obviously you can't take a lot from the VMI game. It was VMI, so winning 59-7, great. They did what they were supposed to do. Same with Louisville beating, Jacksonville State earlier, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But Louisville hasn't been tested either.
Right.
They've played Austin Peay and Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I mean, good matchups.
Yeah. Georgia Tech's going to be 5 games in already after this week.
Yeah.
They're the only team to play every week. I think, I guess Florida State too. But line's at 10 now, open to 10.5. I don't think Georgia Tech wins this game outright. I think they cover, though.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech is 9-3 in their last 12 as dogs against the spread. Of those, they've won 7 outright.
Oh.
So there is a chance.
Oh, snap.
Obviously, the latest one coming against Florida State.
Hey, I mean, I'll be rooting for them. I think
I appreciate that as a Georgia Tech.
it turns out that that Florida State win wasn't that big of a deal, but seeing as they're now 0-3, they paid Memphis $1.5 million to just beat their ass.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good,
so,
right?
I mean that kind of hurts, but Hey, I'm just glad I almost went to Florida State.
Really?
That was my second pick behind Xavier University where I ended up going. And
fun facts here on the show.
Fun fact.
Remember that for your another sports show trivia.
Almost went there. And at first I was a little sad because they won a national championship our freshman year of college with Jameis Winston. But
you could have been partying with Jameis.
Yeah.
You really missed it.
I really missed out.
W's
but
all the way through.
now it's paying off. Yeah.
Is it?
I could be. Yeah.
What is Xavier won?
Hey, we made it to a lot of Elite Eights, baby.
You know
the most in history without making it to a Final Four. We've had the most Elite Eight and Sweet 16 appearances.
What are your thoughts on Wisconsin basketball?
Fuck Wisconsin. We're moving on.
What about Marquette?
We're moving on. Actually, Marquette, we usually beat their ass, but not recently. But
there you go.
Hey,
you didn't know you were getting a little college basketball.
A little early.
You didn't ask for college basketball, but you got it.
Getting one now. Yeah, we're just gonna switch gears to college basketball for the rest of the show.
Right.
No,
I think Georgia Tech covers here though. I don't think they win.
I like it,
but I think this is a true test too.
Yeah.
This is gonna see really how good Georgia Tech is and really how good Louisville is.
Yeah.
Louisville has had 2 weeks to scheme for this game, so they're coming in fresh. So obviously, I think that's an advantage for Louisville.
Yep.
Georgia Tech's already played 4 games, so
yeah,
and they've had to do some travel. So
yeah, no, I like it.
I think it'll be a good game. I don't see Georgia Tech winning outright. Now, if they do, that's great for the over and wins. That'd be great if we could have 4 in the first 5 weeks. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah. And then Mizzou has Vanderbilt this week. Should be
should be an easy.
Should be a cakewalk. I would freaking hope. But
should be.
I guess that takes us into the betting buffet for week 4. I know everybody's pumped for this as they've now currently lost money on the betting buffet this year. But you know what? We are trending in the right direction,
hey,
folks.
we were positive.
It was just
week.
one E. coli outbreak. If you take that out, like we're doing great.
That's in the past.
Yeah.
We're looking forward.
Chef Cujo is in the kitchen. What do you got for?
I got something cooking. A little appetizer, a little Arizona State, Texas Tech.
Oh.
I have Texas Tech -3. Last week was really a spot for Texas Tech that was like a trap game of like maybe Texas Tech isn't that good against North Texas. Texas Tech's offense went absolutely berserk.
Yeah.
They moved the ball well. They're humming on offense. They beat the shit out of North Texas, 66-21. They ran the ball well. They threw the ball well. I think that's just going to keep building. Honestly, Arizona State, I'm not huge on. They've been fine, but I'm not sold on it.
Yeah.
I really think at Texas Tech, too, is another good spot being at home. They're a solid home team. It's not easy to go in there. I think Texas Tech with a field goal. Give me Texas Tech.
All right. That's your first appetizer. What do you got next?
Oh, this is one of those high-calorie courses. We're going to go with a little over again. We've had solid luck on overs.
We love overs.
We love overs. This one's over 56. This is Kent State versus Penn State.
All right. We got a little Kent State action.
If you didn't watch Kent State
they had 0 points last week.
But they gave up 71.
That's right.
Game before that, the total points scored in that game was 79.
All right.
Penn State, I think, is going to hang 56 themselves. Penn State looked bad against Bowling Green at home. This is going to be at home. They had a bye week. I think they're going to come out with a little bit of a fuck you.
Yeah.
And that offense is going to be humming. I think this Penn State can hang whatever number they want on Kent State.
I mean, they have revamped this offense this year. Now they have no defense.
Yeah.
So maybe Kent State will actually decide to score this week,
Yeah, so if Kent State scores once, that'd be great. But I think, honestly, there's a road here where Penn State just does it themselves.
Yeah. No, I agree. That seems like a good over. I might hit that one.
I think it's pretty solid.
That might be one of the ones I'm gonna partake in. Looks a little tasty.
Oh, you want a main course?
Yeah, give me a main.
This is kind of going with the theme that we did last week. I shit talked Notre Dame last week, and then I took them, and it worked. Cal versus Florida State. Florida State currently -2.5.
It is time for Florida State. It is right?
It has to.
It has to be.
It has to. Florida State lost last week to Memphis, who is a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Should they beat Florida State? No, probably not.
Once again, they were paid $1.5 million.
So, I mean, Memphis is going to be one of those teams that's fighting to get in that playoff as a non-Big Four team. Cal obviously screwed us against Michigan State, but I don't think Cal's even the caliber that Memphis is. So I think going to Florida State has to win this game. Otherwise, I think there's going to be a coaching change mid-year. The crazy thing is, like, they were talking, like, do Florida State and Florida's coach make it to the rivalry game?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Or both teams are going to be, like, have their coach fired by then. So
that's crazy.
I think Florida State, this is more like a have-to-win game.
Yeah.
You can't go 0-4. You can't. So that's really the reason I'm feeling this. I mean, they looked okay against Memphis. They should have. You need to win games like that. There's not a lot of confidence on why we should be like, yeah,
they
Florida
didn't look
State.
Okay. They did not look okay, but they looked okay.
This is the get back spot.
Right.
This is really, that's why this is my bet. This is purely like they have to win this game. If they don't, they're dead.
All right.
They're all the way dead.
Yeah.
You know, if you bet the under win total, that under 9.5, you already cashed your bet.
That's
the quickest under cash ever.
Yeah, right.
So that
okay, all right.
We're keeping that theme, you know.
Yeah, I like it.
It worked out well last week with Notre Dame, Florida State get back game.
Any all right? You got any sides for this one?
I got a little side. Kansas State, BYU. Kansas State will go on the road to BYU. I have Kansas State -6.5. I really liked what I saw from them last week against Arizona. They throttled Arizona 31-7. That was kind of the game to see where these both ranked teams were. I wasn't super high on K-State or Arizona going into last week. Didn't really like what we had seen so far out of them. I came away after watching the game a little more sound on K-State. They looked more cohesive. Their offense had some good flow. The defense picked up drastically better than it has been. Arizona does have a good offense.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see their defense. BYU has killed us before. The Cougars obviously have some quality wins, but we were turning out to see, SMU's not that great.
Well, here's my question too: is we're not? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think we're huge on Arizona either.
No, we're not huge on Arizona, but they were a ranked team. Right. It's a quality.
It was
team.
A quality win.
The concern, I don't love Kansas State's quarterback.
Yeah.
Johnson's not my favorite.
No.
He looks like a child.
He is.
It's hard to respect him.
He is. Oh, wow. You just don't respect him.
I just don't respect him.
Okay.
But, they have got the wins. They are 3-0. They are 13.
Guys, there's a lot of disrespect going on in this.
They get a lot, but BYU, my other concern for BYU and why I really don't know what they are, is who have they played?
Yeah.
They play SIU. Yeah.
Hey,
you played the Salukis.
They're good. The Salukis, man, they're good.
Now, they did beat SMU, like we said, on the road.
But, hey, that's not that hard to beat them.
And they beat Wyoming last week, got us our over in points, 34-14. But like we said, Wyoming's not really a great team.
No.
By any stretch. No. So give me K-State -6.5. I think they can win by a full touchdown here.
All right, so that's your 4 picks. What do we got for a little dessert action?
Oh, this is going to be different. This is a change.
Oh, we got a change?
Call this a parlay sundae.
Oh.
This is a new dessert.
Tasty. This one looks like, okay, all right.
3 games, all at the money line, so they just have to win, and it returns plus money.
All right.
You want to know what we got?
What do we got?
Right. Got Memphis at Navy. Memphis -370 to win this game. Obviously, this kind of could feel like a letdown spot after what they just did to Florida State, but this isn't that big of a game.
Right.
Memphis, I think, is going to stay motivated. They're the better team. Also, historically, Memphis has kind of struggled against Navy. So I think this is going to be like let's not take the foot off the gas. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Navy, they don't have the horses to hang with Memphis.
Yep.
So that's the first part. Part number 2, Northwestern at Washington. Washington -415 here. Washington just lost a heartbreaker against Washington State. Big rivalry game we didn't talk about last week. I think there's a lot of revenge here. I think you're going to get a pissed off Washington team that lost a game they shouldn't have lost, especially to your rival. I don't think Northwestern can score with Washington.
This one's not at Northwestern, right?
No, this is at Washington.
I mean,
This is, I just don't see how they can hang with them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They don't have the offense, so I like what I've seen with Washington. This is that get-right spot.
And then what we got? Final scoop.
Wyoming versus North Texas. North Texas.
We just trashed Wyoming.
We did.
And we know where this one's going.
And North Texas just got beat to death by Texas Tech. Yep. But North Texas's offense is way better. Wyoming, like we said, Wyoming's not good. They haven't shown any bit of life on offense. They can't hang point-wise with North Texas. North Texas was able to score against a quality Texas Tech team. They were still able to put up 21. They moved the ball. I just don't see a way Wyoming can score to win this game. So I really think those three combined get you plus 103. So bet $1, win $1.03. I think those three money line games combined, parlayed together, I think we're going to be cashing.
So we got 3 locks here. So
3 locks.
My question is then what is the last leg?
Which
one's the last leg? Is it the Navy-Memphis game? Because that one's the one that's going to screw you. I already know it. I know it right now.
Why do you say that?
If it's the last one, I know it's going to screw you because it's going to be the one where historically Navy has been good against Memphis. Am I right?
It's not. It's
all right,
the
good.
North Texas Wyoming game.
Okay, all right. I feel safe about that one then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too worried about North Texas losing to Wyoming. As long as North Texas doesn't do anything dumb, like turn the ball over consistently, they should be fine. Yes, Memphis is the game that I think would maybe be the hardest one, but I think Washington's going to railroad Northwestern. They just lost a rivalry game. Will Rogers has looked good for Washington too, a quarterback. But yeah, I'm not as worried about a letdown this year though for Memphis because Memphis truly is playing to get in that playoff spot. So they can't have these letdown games. So I think they're going to be more focused.
Yeah.
So because they really have that chance of being that 12.
Yeah.
So they can't afford to lose this game. It's an American game, so it's in the conference. I just don't see Navy really being able to win here.
Maybe let's send it over to one of our favorite segments.
Oh, I love this segment.
Who's this? Who's that? Yeah. Who's this? Who's that?
All right, so this week's Who's This? Who's That? Well, first off, last week's Black Hills State Yellow Jackets. They didn't win.
What?
We're
0-3. Jackets always won.
We're 0-3 here on the who's
what was
this,
the
who's
score?
that? It was 24-14 St. Thomas. But if you're wondering, St. Thomas is playing Lindenwood this week. So
yeah.
If
we
you
can go, are they at Lindenwood?
They are at Lindenwood.
Hey,
so we can go see them play.
Subscribers want to go watch, go start scouting so you guys know. You'll know one of the teams now.
You already know.
You heard it here.
All right, so this one's an interesting one. We've got the Clark Atlanta University Panthers versus the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats.
Oh, Bethune.
Yes.
Bethune from college basketball.
Of course,
right?
everybody knows Bethune-Cookman.
I've been following them for decades.
It's a fun one to say, Bethune-Cookman. They played against South Florida this year. They got stomped.
South Florida took
48-3.
Oh no.
And Mercer beat them 31-2, but they did get a safety.
That's pretty good. At least you didn't get shut out.
They did not. Now they played Western Michigan last week. 59-31. They gave it a chance. They put up 31.
Damn.
So they're turning a corner here.
That's a nice over.
Now, I'm not really sure which one we're highlighting here, Clark Atlanta or Bethune-Cookman. I think we're highlighting Clark Atlanta because no one's
at even a school.
They actually have, according to online, you have to go to their actual website to find their record. But they are 2-0, folks. They are 2-0.
That's pretty good.
But they're one of the historically black colleges. They're the first historically black college in the southern U.S. But you know who else is? Bethune. They're also a historically black college in the southern U.S.
So we have two HBCs going against each other? I did not know that about Bethune-Cook, actually.
Yeah.
I did not know they were HBC.
And there you go. You can watch it. It's going to be on HBCU Go on Saturday.
What time?
Doesn't say.
Oh,
So you're gonna have to look that up on
Whole
your
day.
own. But
whole day you gotta watch.
it's at Daytona Stadium in Daytona Beach, which is where Bethune-Cookman is
Hey.
located. Currently, I mean, look, Clark Atlanta is 2-0. Bethune's 0-3. So
What's the line on this game?
I'm gonna have to say, unfortunately, still with it being at home, Bethune, I think it's still gonna be about a -14 for them, even though Clark Atlanta is 2-0.
I think I'll hammer Clark here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You going Clark here?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think they should probably be getting 21 points. I think this is gonna be a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
haven't seen much that I've liked from Bethune this year.
so
I haven't seen anything,
no,
so I
you
don't
haven't
like
seen
anything.
it. No, you don't like anything there.
I haven't seen anything good.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
My eyes aren't lying to me.
They're another fun fact. They're both religious affiliated with United Methodist Church.
Huh.
So this is kind of a
So
rivalry
they're like
game.
SMU. Do they have also SMU money?
They do not. Their endowment was 102 million, which is still a
Holy
lot.
Shit.
But that's just like a minor TV deal for SMU. So
That's
really,
nothing to oil money.
He doesn't, yeah, he's not losing sleep over that. And that's their entire endowment. So, the Panthers are looking to have a big win here, though. Keep their season undefeated.
On the prowl.
They are on the prowl. They are, unfortunately, they are Division II. And they
Okay.
come out of the SEAC.
The SEAC?
Yes, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. I know
don't
you're
know.
familiar with them.
I did think about betting that this year on
Yeah.
my futures, but
Yep.
I didn't get good value.
Now, notable alum for Clark Atlanta.
Give
You
it
guys-
to me.
You guys all know Walt Landers, right?
Seen an investment banker.
He played in the NFL. He
Really?
was, he was drafted. He was undrafted in the 1978 NFL draft. He signed as a running back for the Green Bay Packers, also another
Hey.
famous Packer. He played for 4 games in the 1978 NFL season.
How do you do?
His season ended after a career-ending injury against San Diego after 4 games.
What was
Career
the
ending.
career ending?
Career-ending.
Did it say what?
Doesn't say. Leg injury.
Oh no.
Oh, his knee. His knee.
That's not good.
So yeah, in total, Landers played 13 games over 2 seasons for the Packers, accumulating 141 yards and a touchdown. This is his Wikipedia page. That completely just
Do we know any validation on this Wikipedia page?
not great.
Did he create
those
this?
lines? Those lines definitely contradict each other. But anyway, so yeah, that's Clark
Interesting.
Atlanta this week. The Panthers are an exciting team to watch. They're a step up from the.
Is it true? Nah, I don't know. I just heard this.
Yeah.
Bryce Young is getting sent there.
That is.
I heard it's the
rumor
minor
mill-
leagues of the Panthers.
The rumor mill does have it. I am currently on the Panthers website, and it might be better than the Carolina Panthers website. Like this thing
Wow.
actually has. I mean, their sports page here is just fantastic. They're featuring men's cross country, women's volleyball. These are some active stats. I mean, they've got last week's game on here. They've got like stats. They've got videos. I'm just saying, like this, they might pull the upset here.
Oh shit.
The line's not great. We're going 14
I'm
for
hammering
Bethune,
it.
but
I think it's 21.
so
I think you misread that line. I know there will be a
we're
lot of
0-3.
Vegas money.
We're 0-3. If you just bet against
Everything you say on these schools.
yeah, if you just bet against the who's this, who's that, you will probably win. Now you'll have to do some black market bets because these aren't Vegas bets.
That's not
but-
what we're all doing anyway in Missouri.
Yes. So it's no different. Maybe we'll start an internal, not another
Bookie?
Yeah, we'll start our own. We won't say that, like hit us up on the DMs, but
Yeah. We won't put it officially out there.
right. But maybe we'll start a little side competition here
Right.
on the show. But yeah, so that's week 4.
Hey, I got something I want to throw out there.
What's that?
It's kind of like a little new segment, it's to show how deep we're scouting,
Yeah.
I
What do you got?
talked about
we're
how
going
I've
deep
went
into
to these-
scouting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we are getting pretty in depth here.
I'm looking at Indiana senior high school student this week.
we got a high school spotlight going.
Yeah. Hayden Klur out of Urine Catholic in Indiana.
You say urine?
Garin.
Oh, Garin.
Guerin.
I was confused. There was a urine Catholic school.
Well, it's Guerin. So I don't know the official origin
All right.
of the school.
Maybe we should have the fact check that.
But he's an electric wide receiver. He's I think number 5 right now, currently
Wow.
as in Max Prep as one of the best for wide receivers. He had a pretty good week last week. You want to know what he did?
Let's hear it.
26 receptions.
Oh, no. That's a good fantasy day.
That's a great
I hope
fantasy
you're in a
day.
PPR high school league.
Yeah.
because
He also had 396 receiving yards
396.
and 6 touchdowns.
Oh,
this
mercy.
dude's playing on rookie mode against these high schoolers. So when you're gonna be looking out, you'll be looking for Indiana senior Hayden Clure.
Just for the record, I just did the math. He had 101-point fantasy day.
That's a hell of a day. I had teams that didn't reach that this week.
I don't think my team put up that much this week. Stay tuned for if you hope you guys listened to the NFL episode yesterday, but
Yeah, so Friday Night Lights. I'm gonna drive up to Indiana to catch this kid's next game.
wow, I'm gonna be watching the.
I'm gonna try to send him some Georgia Tech swag so we can get him
trying to
into
get to the
GT.
recruit. You do some
Yeah.
recruiting.
Yeah, I was like, you want to come on not another sports show?
Yeah, I mean, hey, we gotta
That's how we're
start
marketing.
somewhere, guys.
We're headed up to
look,
Indiana this weekend.
We bring this kid on. One day he's in the NFL. We got an NFL player on the show.
Hell yeah.
So I mean, it's a good
That's
way to start
electric.
it.
Not many players can do what he just did last week.
Not many people ever have.
No.
So
No. So yeah, I didn't want us to skip that.
Yeah,
it's a
I
little
think
news
it's
segment. It's like the Max Prep idea of, little Friday night high school lights.
right. I mean, I think it's a critical part of
Because these are the guys we're going to be talking about for the next upcoming
Exactly.
years. Like next
Yeah.
year, we're going to be talking about him. When
Yeah.
he's at Georgia Tech with 300 receiving yards
Right.
against Georgia. That's what we're going to be
the
talking
next
about.
Calvin Johnson.
I think so. He's
Yeah.
the White Calvin is what they're calling him,
Wow.
per my sources.
Who's calling him that?
My sources. I
Right.
cannot disclose my
Right.
sources.
Right.
That's unprofessional.
Right. Naturally, they're calling him Bumblebee.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
what it
that's
is?
what they're calling him. Is
Yeah.
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. Cool. Well, I look forward to this segment too. I want to hear some more of these stats.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be great.
What's the top game you're looking for this week?
Ooh, top game.
Top game.
Obviously, Georgia Tech holds true to my heart,
Oh,
but I think it's obviously the Texas game. Just kidding. It's not. Texas.
not
It's Oklahoma,
that good.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think that, and then the game tonight. Once people are watching it, the Huskers.
Not the App State, South Alabama.
No.
Hey.
Hey,
South Alabama hung up 87 last week against Northwestern State.
hey, that's impressive.
It's impressive. Still, App State, that's a line I kind of want to. They were almost part of the Sunday parlay.
Well,
But-
what he didn't tell you guys was that he had a couple bad beats this week. I'm glad that he didn't serve it out to you guys because there are some rough ones out there. You want to enlighten the?
I would love to enlighten them on what transpired last weekend. Late night set of games Saturday night. We did a 3-game money line parlay.
That'll
I
get
had
you.
Indiana on the road at UCLA. Indiana takes care of business. Easy money. Colorado State. Took Colorado. Easy money. TCU, Central Florida.
Easy money. Oh.
Easy money. TCU up 21.5 at home. Fucking Rocket Jefferson.
Oh.
In Central Florida,
They just
make a-
have to win.
make a comeback. And then we get a chance to kick. We know how my luck with college kickers are. They're the worst. And he missed.
Oh, that's a shame.
That was a
That's a shame.
plus $600 bet. That was this close.
That hurts.
It hurts. It's unfortunate.
Well, good thing
But-
you didn't serve that one up.
Good thing we'll be starting to do footy bets here too.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Champions League
Oh
starting.
yeah, a little football action. That
Yeah,
kind of football.
football.
A little football action.
Yeah.
Get those bets going. But
Yeah, maybe next week I'll add
Yeah.
that as an extra dessert.
oh,
A little freebie,
That's what we
little
like to
buy
see.
one get one.
oh, all right.
Maybe try to parlay some of them together.
Yeah?
A little football and football.
Oh, parlay the footballs.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
So I mean, that's week 4. And I mean, I'm excited for it. How about you?
I'm ready. I think the buffet, we get back to over 500 this week.
All right, you heard it here, folks. You didn't ask for another sports show.
You got one.